Hello, everybody, and welcome into another Oilers News and Rumours video here at the Hockey Writers. I'm your host, Matthew Zator, and as always, joining by Brian Swane, and also got Jordan Orth on this special edition of the News and Rumours because there was a big trade. Not as big as the one that went later in the day, but that's something for another video. Stuart Skinner. Brian, we talked about the Oilers maybe making a goaltending move. They traded Skinner this morning and Brett Kulak to the Pittsburgh Penguins for Tristan, Jarry, and Samuel Poulin. Just an extra guy on top of that. But the big swap is the two goalies, Skinner for Jarry. I'll get your thoughts, Brian, first. I mean, talked about them doing a lateral move. They didn't want to do a lateral move. In my opinion, this is a lateral move. I mean, what do you think about this trade this morning?
Yeah, you and I talked about this last time too, and I think I kind of actually asked you, what's your opinion? Like, what's the opinion outside of Edmonton on a deal like this? Is this a lateral move? Because I kind of see it as that. I think, Jarry might be a little bit more consistent. I think if you pro Skinner, you like the fact that he's got all this incredible Stanley Cup playoff experience, whereas Jarry, I don't think has even, won a series yet. I don't know. I think it's a lateral move. Now, it could turn out to be that one team ends up winning this deal a lot more than the other. We'll see. I think this is a fascinating deal because it really is unpredictable. You look at this and you say, I think if you're in either market, you can convince yourself that your team is either won or lost this deal, just as far as looking at the two goalies, who's going to get the better of this. So, but I don't look at this from an Oilers perspective and think today that they've made a big upgrade. I just don't. They might have got a little bit more consistent, but you know what? When springtime rolls around and, assuming the Oilers even get there, if they're, you're starting game one of the Stanley Cup playoffs with Jarry, I don't know if that makes me feel any necessarily more confident than I would if they start game one in the playoffs with Skinner. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, Jarry it's been well documented. Last season, he lost the starting job. He was sent down to the AHL as well. I mean, this is a guy that's not had a lot of success over the last couple seasons, and he has a pretty good season this going right now. But is it like we talked about? I don't know who I was talking to about it, but I've talked to a lot of people that maybe it's a thing that Jarry's just better in front of a better team. I mean, the Penguins are playing a lot better. Is he going to be good again with the Oilers? We'll see. But and then go to you, Jordan, with Skinner going to the Penguins now. I don't know if he's the starter. I mean, we got Shilovs. It might be a 1A, 1B. What do you think about this trade? Of course, they're getting Brett Kulak in the deal as well.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it like Brian said. I think you look at the Oilers aspect. Yeah, consistency this year with Jarry's there, but like you said, Skinner, he's been kind of a roller coaster. I mean, he's looked great the last few games. I know that. I mean, he played. He's in net last night against the Pens, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, no, that was the Wings. Sorry, that was. I got my teams mixed up. But yeah, I mean, you don't know what you're going to get. I mean, if for some reason the Penguins make a run and they end up in the playoffs, like Brian said, it's great to have that playoff experience with your netminder. They want to make a push for that one last playoff push with the core they've got. But yeah, I mean, for the Penguins, in my mind, I think it works out great. Yeah, the second round pick's not till 2029, but I mean, things can change quite a bit in those few years. And you look at the cap space you're getting out of it at the end of the year with the two expiring deals. I think the deal is for the Penguins, short term and long term, could end up working out. Like Brian said, it could go either way. One team could have a great success with it, and the other could fall right off the face of the earth kind of with it. But it's a crapshoot on what's going to happen with it all. But long term, I think it definitely helps the Penguins out more in the sense of obviously cap relief and flexibility more than it does the Oilers in that sense.
For sure. I mean, I think there's also the fact of Kulak going. I mean, there's cap space getting freed up for the Oilers as well, which, I mean, they need it. We'll see if any other moves happen after this. I mean, they did make another move. pretty much just actually around the same time. I think they were announced together. They also acquired Spencer Stastney from the Nashville Predators. Obviously not a big name, but he's a young defenseman. Brian, what do you think about this subsequent trade? They kind of I said before recording, is he replacing for Kulak? No, he's not. Kulak's a veteran. He's very solid top 4 defenseman. Stastny's still developing. I mean, I think he's had 1 full season, maybe not even a full season in the NHL. But so what do you think about that subsequent trade there? Yeah,
well, just to piggyback on comments there, like I think if you look at this, we're all going to look at this from the lens of this is Jarry for Skinner. But like, number one, that second round draft pick, I mean, that, that's a valuable, I think trade chip to have, even if, like you say, it is further down the line, but that's right now, that's a trade asset you have. If you're the Penguins that you have in your cabinet to play with. This is the situation the Oilers have found themselves in now. They traded away so many draft picks that they're going full NBA mode and trading away draft picks 4, 5, 6 years in advance. So, and then Kulak, like they're going to miss him. They're really going to miss him. And they'll especially miss him during the playoffs. This guy is just, he goes out there and he just gives you, the Oilers, they have a lot of talented defensemen, whether it's obviously Nurse, Bouchard, Ekholm, Wallman, but most of them are guilty of serving up a grenade every other game. And Kulak was the one guy on this team that didn't do that. And he was especially consistent and just so reliable during these last 2 playoff runs. So I think, I think the Penguins are getting a really good player there. And I think it's kind of overlooked that I just don't think the Oilers can necessarily replace what he brought. I know he's not, he's probably a third pairing defenseman on a championship contending team. But you got to have those guys. Yeah. And Stastny, I'll be honest, I didn't know, I wasn't overly familiar with him until about 10 hours ago. And it looks, you hear a lot of good things about him. I guess he's a really good skater, which Kulak also was. So I think he kind of checks that box. It sounds like he's, there's a lot of potential that people like in him, and he just hasn't realized it yet. So the Oilers might be getting a good player in him, but he's not right now what Kulak brought to this team. And now they've already got a defense that it has played better in the last several games. A defense that is still kind of, its weakness is not so much in its strengths. It's, if this makes sense, its weakness is in the fact when they're playing at their worst and they make a lot of mistakes. And Kulak was the steady guy on that blue line. And so I don't think bringing in the 24, 25-year-old, whatever Stastny is, that, hasn't even got a full NHL season, full season of NHL experience under his belt yet is going to replicate that and bring that to the lineup. So I don't know. They're going to miss Kulak, and Stastny. We'll see what he is, but he's probably not going to realize that potential yet for a year or two.
For sure. I mean, we'll see. I think the Kulak thing was a big addition to that trade. I mean, he's not going to be just a small part of the Penguins. I think this was made in whatever they're doing. I don't know how the Penguins are they're actually going to make the playoffs or not. But Kulak's a good veteran defenseman that he's going to play probably a lot of minutes in Pittsburgh. I mean, Jordan, what do you think? I mean, with Kulak, is he a guy that can maybe mesh well with, Erik Karlsson, right? I mean, he seems to need a type of defenseman like that.
Yeah,
I think that's where it kind of goes.
Yeah, you look at what Karlsson's got with him this year. I mean, he's got Wotherspoon with him for the most part, so they kind of play a similar game, him and Kulak. But I mean, it's another one of those things too that, again, you come to the deadline, say you've fallen out of the race. Kulak's a guy, contender.
It's true.
I mean, it's another asset. Dubas loves having the assets, whether it's the picks or players that could potentially end up helping a team out if they fall out of the race. So him or Skinner, if Skinner can go get hot or whatever, I mean, it could turn into just a trade tree at some point, kind of. But yeah, I mean, for right now, for the present, for what they got, I think, I mean, it's a good deal all around. And if it works out for the Oilers, it's even better for them because Jarry was kind of ridiculed, kind of justifiably so with his play the last few years. But I mean, he's been in the organization his whole career. I mean, he's a guy that's grown and stuff. So you don't want to wish anything bad upon him. So I mean, you want to see him go and be successful. So
it could also.
I would say the same thing for there's kind of that similar sentiment for Skinner here too. Like I think people would like to see him. He's had a rough go of it. Like he's he's been, as I'm sure Jarry has in that market too. He's been taking a lot of heat for, and I think probably unfairly so in some situations for when the team has struggled. And so maybe this is a case where both goalies just need a fresh start. And they can go and like this could. I've said this. This could be a trade that both teams end up winning. It could be best for both teams, best for both goalies, and then that's a rare case. But maybe this is that kind of trade.
It's true. Two guys that need a change of scenery, a reset. And I mean, Skinner might be better in a market that, of course, not going to be on him all the time. Canadian markets, we all know, is very, very bad for that. So, I mean, we'll see if he maybe, just gets that reset he needs. And Jarry too. Or maybe he's better being in his hometown, being a hometown goalie because, playing for the Edmonton Oil Kings, right? So that, there's that familiarity there. So, I mean, that could be a good thing for both goalies in this case. So, might get the rare case of two guys just swapping places and then taking off again. So, we'll see what happens with them in this trade. That was the big trade of the day. No longer. It is now the second big trade of this. It's dropped a tier with the Quinn Hughes trade that just happened a few minutes ago. But thanks, Brian. Thanks, Jordan, for coming on and talking this trade. We'd think it was March already because these are supposed to happen in March with the trade deadline. Took away all that. I don't know. There's some stuff that could still happen. But you're checking out everything at hockeyriders.com. We got reaction pieces already out there. Check those out. And we'll see if anything else happens with these two teams. I mean, the Penguins are going to be in there because depending on where they are in the playoff race. And the Oilers might be making some moves as well because they got a bit of extra cap space to work with. So we'll see what other things happen. But until our next video, we will see you next time.